Welcome to New Teacher Talk. My name is Ken King, and I'm an education professor at Aurora University in Aurora, Illinois. Today I'm going to talk about a strategy for improving retention of information. It's elaboration. One of the most important roles a teacher has is to help students learn and use information. Part of learning is to commit information to long-term storage in the brain. This process benefits from specific actions that the teacher can help students master. Chief among these approaches is elaboration, which has been associated for over 50 years with the information processing model for how memories are encoded and retrieved. A little bit of background. In the 1950s, American psychologist George Miller introduced the information processing theory, which outlines a sequence of how the mind receives, processes, stores, and retrieves information. Many people have likened this model of information processing and building memories as similar to the way a computer works, with the information preserved for long-term use, similar to the way information is stored on a computer's hard drive. As with a computer hard drive, information that is entered long-term memory is, in principle, available over the lifetime of the individual. To help organize information so that it lasts indefinitely, we make use of elaboration. Elaboration is a memory concept that involves expanding and adding detail to information that adds to its meaning and makes it more memorable. When we elaborate, we connect new information with existing knowledge or experiences, which makes it easier to remember and retrieve later. This technique encourages a deeper mastery of the material by creating associations between the new information we already understand. People who have a deep knowledge about a subject find it easier to add to their store of knowledge because they understand how the new knowledge fits into what they already understand. Individuals without deep knowledge about a new idea need to be strategic about how they connect their knowledge with their existing body of knowledge. There are many ways to apply elaboration in memory processes. I will profile three of them for you today. First of all, relating to personal experiences. Connecting new information to personal experiences makes it more relevant and easier to remember. Relating concepts to real-life situations helps in forming a stronger memory trace, which is called an engram. This produces the chemical and physical changes that take place in the brain as a new memory is created. For example, imagine you are learning about the concept of supply and demand in economics. Instead of just memorizing the definitions, you relate it to a personal experience. Recall a time when you observed the impact of supply and demand in your life, perhaps during a limited edition sneaker release. You remember how the sneakers were highly anticipated and the limited supply led to an increase in demand. People were willing to pay more to get their hands on a pair. This personal experience becomes a mental anchor for understanding the economic concept of supply and demand. Now, whenever you think about these economic principles, the image of that sneaker release and its real-life implications instantly comes to mind, making the information more relevant and memorable. Music fans may be familiar with the idea of dynamic pricing for concert tickets. When there is high demand for a ticket to a concert, the price will increase. This is another example of supply and demand in action. Another approach is using visual imagery. The elaboration principle can also be used to create vivid mental images that help you remember information. For example, to remember a list of items, you might create a mental image that incorporates each of them in a memorable way. Hussey and her colleagues determined that even in individuals with memory impairment, using visual imagery helps to form and retain new ideas. For example, imagine that you are preparing a shopping list for a trip to the grocery store. Recalling a simple list of words may suffice, but creating a visual image of items on the list helps improve the formation of memories by connecting the word to a visualization of items on the list. Learners who create mental images of these items in a shopping list may envision a banquet table laden with items on the list represented as visual images. Of interest, Oliver and her colleagues found that making images very specific and very detailed does two things. First of all, learners are more likely to recall their list more accurately when they create a detailed mental image of the item on their list. They're less likely to forget information on that list. Secondly, they're less likely to add items to their list. This is an example of a false memory, when people recall as a memory something that did not happen or remember something inaccurately. A list of words describing candy might lead someone to incorrectly remember the word sweet as having been on the list, demonstrating the appearance of a false memory. A detailed mental image makes this less likely. In the last example, explaining concepts aloud or to another person has advantages for building memories. Explaining concepts aloud helps to reinforce memory. Teaching the material to someone else or simply talking about it can also enhance understanding and retention. This affirms the maxim that to teach is to understand. Organizing information that makes it understandable to another person requires the expenditure of intellectual energy and sense making on the part of the person preparing to teach. New ideas need to be reorganized and connected to existing ideas before they can be comfortably and fluently passed on to another person. Explaining an idea aloud before working with another learner can reveal errors in understanding that can be identified and corrected before the teaching takes place. Just a few words of closure. As a teacher, you can help your students apply these and other elaboration strategies to help your students learn and better retain information. Take time to elaborate on new information and connect what you are learning to what you already know. Come up with your own examples to illustrate new ideas and how they connect with what you already understand. By actively engaging in elaboration, learners go beyond surface level understanding, promoting a more profound understanding of the material. This cognitive strategy is particularly effective in studying and remembering complex or abstract information. Thank you for listening. I hope you become a regular follower of this podcast channel. And remember, as a new teacher, we are here to help you.